Hi, welcome to another video. Today we look at 10 countries where the Bible is banned, illegal, or restricted. Bibles can only be obtained by illegal means. Without wasting time, let's dive in. Number 10 is Somalia. The few Christians living in Somalia are frequent targets of persecution. Those who are even suspected of being Christian may be harassed or killed. In 2017, the Constitution of Puntland, that is the governing document and legal framework for the autonomous Puntland region of Somalia, declared Islam as the state religion, prohibit Muslims from converting to another religion, bars the propagation of any religion other than Islam, and require all laws to comply with the general principles of Sharia. The Constitution prohibits any law or culture that contravenes Islam, and prohibits demonstrations contrary to Islam. This is especially the case in regions of Somalia controlled by the Islamic terrorist group Al-Shabaab, which is suspected to have ties to Al-Qaeda. The group has killed, maimed, or harassed persons suspected of converting from Islam, or those who failed to adhere to the group's religious edicts. On August 20, 22, it was reported that they had executed a man for allegedly insulting the Prophet Muhammad, as well as executing others on spying charges. Fear of reprisals from Al-Shabaab often prevented religious groups from operating freely. However, in 2022, it was noted that violence against aid workers had decreased. Number 9 is Libya. Libya is another country in which those converting to Christianity often face opposition from their own families in addition to the government. Reading a Bible is an illegal activity, and those who do so in secrecy. There are laws against evangelism in that country, and Bibles are often seized by government officials. Those who do not renounce their faith may be ostracized by society and left unable to find work, a home, or other support. Those who attempt to share their faith can be arrested and punished violently. Because Libya has no centralized government, Christians are often at the mercy of the closest extremist group. Kidnappings and murders of Christians are common, as are reports of Christians being sent to labor camps. Number 8 is Morocco. According to globalchristianrelief.org, the Moroccan government restricts the distribution of non-Islamic religious materials, including the Bible, that it deems inconsistent with the Maliki Ash'ari school of Sunni Islam. It's worth noting that Morocco has oscillated between periods of religious tolerance and intolerance throughout its history. Several of Morocco's penal codes act to deter Moroccans from leaving Islam and converting to Christianity or any other belief system. Number 7 is the Maldives. This country has a reputation for being a luxurious idol, but a Bible can get you into trouble in this holiday paradise. Bibles are not allowed in the Maldives, as they are deemed contrary to Islam. Importing a Bible is forbidden under the country's strict Islamic laws, and churches are banned. There is currently no complete translation of the Bible into Divehi, the official language of the tropical nation. If you have a suitcase full of Bibles, you would be suspected of importation, and that could put you in trouble. Number 6 is China. Owning a Bible is illegal or highly restrictive. The Chinese government recently implemented new regulations that penalize all unregistered religious activities. As a result, Bibles can only be purchased legally in state-approved Christian bookstores. The Bible is removed from online marketplaces in China, as its government clamps down on how its citizens practice religion. An additional obstacle in a country where printed Bibles were already difficult to obtain. The Communist Party is also working on a new Bible translation intended to inject Chinese values into Scripture. China has always controlled sales of the Bible, only allowing it to be distributed and printed by state-sanctioned churches. Number 5 is North Korea. The Bible is not banned in North Korea, however. Its distribution and ownership are severely restricted. Possession of a Bible or Quran is a punishable offense and can lead to harsh penalties, including execution. Because of this, the Bible is not readily available in North Korea. The North Korean Constitution officially guarantees freedom of religion, but in reality, this is not the case. Worship of the state-sponsored Yusha ideology is mandatory, and religious practice is often seen as a threat to the regime. Those who do practice religion do so in secret, or at risk of persecution. Christianity is discouraged by the North Korean government because of its association with America. In the 1980s, North Korea produced its own translation of the Bible, which has since been used by its southern missionaries attempting to evangelize the North. Number 4 is Saudi Arabia. The Bible is banned in Saudi Arabia because preaching Christianity to Muslims might lead them to apostatize, an act which is punishable by death if they were not to recant. Islam is the official state religion in the kingdom, which is based on the Islamic Sharia law. In Saudi Arabia, Christian visitors should be aware that displaying a Bible in public, or taking more than one Bible into the country, could place them at risk of arrest. Churches are banned, and Christian migrants and tourists also have to meet in secret and cannot own Bibles. Non-Muslims are also strictly banned by Saudi Arabia from the holy cities of Mecca and Medina. In 2022, there were no religious worker visas, but non-Muslim clergy were able to enter the country to work in their communities. They were also able to bring in religious items, including books. Number 3 is Uzbekistan. In this Central Asian dictatorship country, high penalties are imposed on those who own Bibles. In many Central Asian countries, Bibles are considered propaganda and are not allowed to be imported or printed. Authorities are known to detain Christians found in possession of the Holy Book for keeping and storing extremist materials with the purpose of further distribution. According to the Constitution of Uzbekistan, freedom of religion is guaranteed, but in practice, the government restricts these rights. The status of religious freedom remains restricted with a specific decline for some Pentecostal and other Christian groups. A number of minority religious groups, including congregations of some Christian denominations, continue to operate without registration because they have not satisfied the strict registration requirements set out by the law. Number 2 is Yemen. One of several countries currently at war, Yemen is mired in what aid group UNICEF calls one of the world's largest humanitarian crises, as it struggles to provide food and health care to its citizens. This challenging situation proves even more difficult for Christians because aid is often distributed by local Muslim leaders, who see little reason to aid non-Muslims. Additionally, Christians may be banished from their family or tribe, forced to divorce their spouse or give up their children, tortured and imprisoned or simply killed, often via public beheadings. The Bible is banned or restricted in Yemen. Yemen is an Islamic country, and the majority of its population is Muslim. The country provides for freedom of religion, and the government generally respects this right in practice. However, there are some restrictions. The Constitution declares that Islam is the state religion, and that Sharia, Islamic law, is the source of all legislation. Thus, the government of Yemen has declared that it is illegal to distribute or import any non-Islamic religious materials, including Bibles. Finally, at number 1 is Afghanistan. Bibles can only be obtained by illegal means in Afghanistan. Afghanistan is one of the countries where Christianity is banned. Afghanistan has the highest possible intensity of restriction on Bibles. Unsolicited Bibles sent by a church in the United States were confiscated at Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan because military rules forbid troops of any religion from proselytizing while deployed there. The Bibles were written in the languages Pashto and Dari. Such religious outreach can endanger American troops and civilians in the devoutly Muslim nation. A decision was then made that it was a force protection measure to throw them away, because if they did get out, it could be perceived by Afghans that the U.S. government or the U.S. military was trying to convert Muslims. According to the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom, the situation for the Christian community in Afghanistan has grown ever more perilous since the Taliban took control of the country in August 2021. There have been accounts of the Taliban going door to door seeking out Afghans who practice other faiths and beliefs than the Taliban's strict interpretation of Sunni Islam. Christian converts in Afghanistan also reported receiving threatening phone calls. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and also hit the notification bell to be notified of any new uploads.